shut down. They're the ones, so these social media sites need to take all of this information down. Joe Biden should be firm on this. We are a sovereign nation. Our border is not open. Do not come. He should be working with these other countries to stop this. There are people from 150 different countries that have crossed that border so far this year. 1.5 million people. It is not slowing down. They are trying to overrun the country. Every state's a border state. Every town is a border town because of the sex trafficking, human trafficking, and drugs.
Since you bring up Facebook, yesterday their chief of global safety testified in front of your committee, and you and your colleagues' questions are on the Wall Street Journal's reporting. They found that the company learned through its own research that Instagram was extremely toxic for teen girls' mental health, but didn't do anything about that. It was quite a display, really, of bipartisan outrage there. Watch this.
Instagram is that first childhood cigarette meant to get teens hooked early, exploiting the peer pressure of popularity, and ultimately endangering their health.
You're not committing to any specific steps, but you do acknowledge there is a problem with eating disorders, with suicidal tendencies that may be fostered or promoted.
Have you quantified how many children have taken their own lives
Lynch Trophy
because of your product?
As the visiting Hemel Storm play the home team Reading Rockets, joined
your
by my
company's
usual
reporting.
sidekick,
You
Mr.
knew
Matt
it was
Johnson.
there.
Nice to have you here today, mate.
Thank you.
But you didn't do anything about it.
Oh, I don't know if that's happened, but we'll see.
New York Post editorial board not at all
big
optimistic
turnaround
after
for the
the
Rockets.
hearing with the headline Facebook doesn't care
great game
about doing the right thing at all. But Senator, my question for you is,
stream,
you know,
but we were
there
there
is some
live
bipartisan
and
support
really
for
good
this.
from this
And
Rockets
I feel
team.
as though we've been hearing, I know you've been very active on this issue, but I think Americans are frustrated when you see left and right singing the same tune. Where is the legislation to upgrade the regulation for these companies?
A little encouragement there for everyone to, if you can get to games, get to games.
The Browser Act is an online privacy bill that we have worked on for several years. I introduced it first. I think it was in 2012. And Martha, now there is bipartisan agreement that passing an online federal privacy standard is an imperative. You're seeing us move forward on that, and I expect we will do that very soon. Also, beefing up the COPA, which is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. We will do that, putting in place more penalties and enforcement. Because you have people like Facebook that are in violation of that law. Then also you will see us do something on data security and on some Section 230 reforms that not only get to censorship and preferencing, but also to product placement of illicit and illegal products that many times are online with some of these big aggregator sites. But it has taken time, I will tell you that. Working on privacy, this has been, for me, nearly a decade to allow you, the online user, to own your information.
You name it. There's probably 6-7 teams that have really loaded up.
You've been working hard on it.
Absolutely. And yesterday,
Solent beat
Reading by 5. Reading had a period where they were up by about 5. What do you take away from yesterday's game?
For some new control.
If you come to Solent, if you can go to Solent and you're able to go away saying, hey,
we have a Secretary of Defense that testified in Congress in May that the Afghan National Security Force could withstand the Taliban in advance. We have chairmen of Joint Chiefs who the Commandant is a member of that. They're supposed to advise on military policy.
Get on the
we have
floor,
a Marine
chemistry coaches
combatant commander.
To find out what their guys in these
all of these people are supposed to advise. Potentially, all those
we've had your view on it. Luckily, we had Todd Lindley down on the sideline. We've got Dan Pearson's view on it earlier today, so we can have a quick listen to him.
Raise their hand and say,
good evening, gentlemen and ladies. I'm with Dan Pearson, head coach of the Rockets. Dan.
Well, that man, Marine Corps Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, is now sitting in the brig, and he faces a potential court-martial for calling out the sheer ineptitude of this military decision-making. Now, while he's in jail, the craven leaders he called out peddled excuses for their failures in Afghanistan on the Hill today.
I recommended that we maintain 2,500 troops in Afghanistan. I also have a view that the withdrawal of those forces would lead inevitably to the collapse of the Afghan military forces.
Yes, my assessment was back in the fall of 20 and remain consistent throughout. We should keep a steady state of 2,500, and it could bounce up to 3,500, maybe something like that.
And you're currently unbeaten in Lynch Trophy group stages. Do you want to keep that going today?
What the young man was saying. Joining me exclusively are Lieutenant Colonel Scheller's parents, Kathy and Stu Scheller. Stu, your reaction to your son's imprisonment while our military leaders were playing the kind of blame-shifting game on Capitol Hill today, essentially saying, no, we would have left troops there. That was our recommendation. Your response?
And in terms of this Hemel team, you said you haven't got much preparation for them after the quick turnaround from last night. Who's their major threat they're going to keep their eye on?
Throughout the hearing today, I don't feel like they accepted accountability. So I'm extremely disappointed. And it's no coincidence, in my opinion, that they put a gag order on him and they put him in prison the day before they had to appear in front of senators and tomorrow in front of congressmen. I think that is fairly an act of cowardice.
Our hope is that we have a different engagement
our son,
than we had yesterday.
We're very proud of our son.
Thank you, Dan, and back to you.
Yeah, and thanks, Todd. Great to get some sound there from
years.
Coach Pearson as he's
been on
prepping pre-game. And Mark, it's a tough thing, isn't it? You prep for Solent, and then
women.
Less than 24 hours later, you're staring
Marines,
down the barrel of Hemel Storm as well.
Him exemplary.
Yeah,
we
said it yesterday, didn't we? What a weekend of top
and
level
until 30 days ago,
Solent, Hemel, Reading,
he was a hero to the leadership
weekend,
of the Marine Corps.
And yeah, as Dan Pearson alluded to, not a great deal of time to turn it around and get prepped for the next one.
When 13 of our servicemen died
Coach Pearson, he will have done a good amount of prep during the week anyway.
Something inside of our son.
Yeah, we're about a minute or so to go before the start of the game,
and he,
what do you think Reading do today?
He's a very courageous and principled man.
Solent,
always has been.
Hemel the other way round.
But when that happened,
so yeah, what do you
he
think
had to go and ask his leaders for accountability.
Just before we get into
he had many
well,
active duty Marines, and there are many veterans out here that he works with suicide prevention that were asking, was it all worth it?
In the week, and that's had
and he called for accountability, and within 12 hours they removed him of his position. And after that, it's been downhill from there.
Played, that lady has been a presence.
Your son,
we will never do
the
words will never do
military
justice,
prison tonight.
As
a mother,
but hopefully,
when you watch General Mark Milley
from under 12s, 14,
point
16s,
blank
seniors,
if
BBL,
he would resign,
European teams that are
I want your reaction after we play his answer.
To Andre, I think that's only just fitting, and
senior military officer,
spend a moment on that as well.
Resigning is a really serious thing. It's a political act if I'm resigning in protest. My dad didn't get a choice to resign at Iwo Jima. And those kids that are at Abbey Gate, they don't get a choice to resign. And I'm not going to turn my back on them. I'm not going to resign. They can't resign, so I'm not going to resign. There's no way.
Kathy, he said resigning would be turning his back on the troops. Your thoughts?
And seeing the impact of.
My thoughts are, our son said to him, if you thought this was a bad idea, were you willing to take your rank and put it down and say, I will not put our men and women in peril? He should have dropped that rank. He should have resigned and said, I will not do this to our service members. But he didn't do that, did he? And let me explain to you why the accountability is so important. During our war, the last 20 years, we have lost around 7,000 troops. We have lost somewhere, depending on the data that you want to look at, somewhere in the last 20 years, between 30 up to 100,000 troops from suicide. They need that accountability. They need to know that what they did mattered. So many lives can be saved on the backside by being held accountable. And I say take that rank and put it down and stand up for your other service members. Stand up for my son. Stand up for Stu. Stand up for America.
Stuart,
basically,
go ahead.
Basically, they left hundreds of Americans in Afghanistan. Well, they're leaving our son tonight in prison. And that's not okay with us. And I challenge the American people, is that okay with you? Is it okay with you that a 17-year infantry officer that put his life on the line
from another channel here, CNN,
to protect you and protect your children. Is it okay with you that he is put in jail and is facing a court-martial? He didn't murder anyone. He didn't sexually offend anyone. He didn't do drugs. He asked for accountability. He spoke his truth, and they couldn't handle it. It's an embarrassment. It's shameful. And if it's not okay for you, Americans, we're asking you to stand up. Write your congressman, call your congressman, demand accountability. And it's not just accountability for the botched Afghanistan withdrawal and Americans left behind. It's accountability. The only one that's being held accountable for this botched situation is my son, by the general.
Senator Cotton asked today. I want to play this, actually. She took the words out of my mouth. Senator Cotton asked Defense Secretary Austin about your son's confinement.
Marine Colonel Stuart Scheller posted a very critical video on social media last month, and he was relieved of his command for that posting. Media reports today indicate that he is being held in pretrial confinement. Why is that?
Those of you that I don't have any specifics of what caused him to be held in pretrial confinement, and I would certainly ask the Marines to provide that insight.
Kathy, he's the Pentagon chief. This young man is in jail, in military jail.
To the rim and one.
Austin seems to have no idea what's going on, or pretends he has no idea what's going on.
I could not believe those words came out of his mouth. And if he doesn't know what's going on, shame on him. Shame on him if he is totally unaware. A lot of other people are aware, but we are not going to let them take their dirty little secret and hide it away and put our son
knocks it down.
So he can't speak, put a gag order on him, take him away from his freedom of speech so that they can hide their little secret. Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Well, Stuart, Joe Biden campaigned as a president who was going to bring accountability and transparency to government. That was a big part of the pitch. Also restoring dignity to our national conversation, bringing us all together as a country. That was a big part of his campaign against President Trump to win this election. And he's commander-in-chief now. And the counter-argument to this, to play devil's advocate, is your son violated military code by going public with criticism of his command.
Absolutely rejected by Lufal over the rim. And referee calls lots of body contact on that one. Not quite in position. Myerscough will get his first foul 90 seconds in. Taylor Johnson to the line for his first free throw of the competition. And one of those players that does not look like he's going to miss when he gets there. Looks very comfortable from the line. Sporting the headband as well today. 2 from 2. Doesn't even touch the rim. We're into the triple figures. 103 of you there. I'm telling you, this is going to be a really good one. So let's make sure you're telling each other to get on that stream as Lufal goes to work again. Kicks it out. Champion inside. Gets it taken off in 5 seconds. And there's Cartano again for 2. He has 5 personal. Good matchup here. Levi Nile, Lewis Champion. AJ Bassett with Sam Newman. Some really good matchups. Lashley's got that mid-range again. Lufal doesn't want to give it to him for a 3rd time. And it rims out Tolawase above the rim. Gets his first clean rebound. Lufal working inside. Bassey just short arms the 3. Right wing, Taylor Johnson gets a ball screen early by Ofusi. Switched by Tolawase. Terrific matchup with Tolawase at the 4. Great player to have there. Ofusi. Oh, off Johnson's head. And Bassey throws it to Coach Pearson, who's not in transition. And who is in transition is my co-host, Mark Halewood.
I've transitioned back in like nothing happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we didn't miss you.
Good. Thanks for sticking with us. I'll get back to doing what I'm supposed to do in terms of saying things, and you'll say the intelligent stuff.
I told you Cartano would have a game, didn't I?
You did. You said in the chat this morning, and he's laid that one in.
He's got 7.
Love it. This is Newman for Hemel. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. We're up and running. This is Levi Knoll now. He's getting a clean look to the rim. Goes right at Myerscough.
Yeah.
Doesn't get it to go. Champion
the other way. Great officiating, by the way.
Agreed. And this is Cartano. Thought about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matched up with Lashley. And you said that's where it's going to be tough for Hemel today in that kind of 4-5 matchup with Cartano.
Yeah, here comes the double. Myerscough's going to pass out of it. Goes out of bounds.
There's a big discussion going on whether that was actually out of bounds. I would presume not by
I think
Pearson's.
Coach Pearce is just saying, hey, you know, I don't mind you getting on him, but if you push him out of bounds, then we've got something there. Interesting earmark straight off the double. Johnson getting ahead of steam.
Easier Taylor Johnson, and we know he's, you know, one of the league's biggest scoring threats, doing what he does already, and it's 9-8. Reading lead this one.
He came off 31 last weekend, and Polian had 39.
Yeah, Hemel without Polian today, and this is Bassi trying to drop it off to Tolowazy, and they've telegraphed that one, and Bassi then called for the foul.
Yeah, I mean, I think then when the Pearson substitute train is running well again, and I think I'm saying that in a positive way as well, Mark, that guys are getting to see the floor early. So we're 8 deep, and we played 3 minutes and 30 odd seconds, 40 seconds. So Dixon's in now, Pinnock's in.
Oyafusi goes handoff with Johnson. It's Newman in the corner. He'll like the look of that one.
Yeah.
Goes the other way, and it's rejected by Lou File.
Yeah, and I was saying yesterday, Mark, and I don't think we managed to get it out on the stream, but 105 people are listening to us now. I think when you have a big like that, and Myerscough's doing a really good job making people think about putting it on the floor, making them think that, and they're off the ref. It's going to go in, isn't it?
Of course it is.
That's an assist
Give
by the ref.
The ref that assist.
Don't often see that, do you? But you definitely know it's going in.
I always thought if it hit a referee, that was the same as hitting a line out of bounds.
Yeah, that's because you don't know the rules.
Yeah, I know. I played in 1999. Yeah. Newman hands off to Lashley inside the circle, so not called. And it's Dixon going the other way. Finds Pinnock ahead. It's 3v2. Dixon, Pinnock.
Nice look. Great pass by Baines. Great pass.
Wide open and nothing but the bottom of the net for Jazz Baines, and a great find by Reece Pinnock.
Yeah, and that's Pinnock that we saw really under control, not feeling he needs to force anything. This is a tough matchup for Cartano, getting run all over the place on that one. Claims a rebound. Keep an eye on that matchup there, Taylor Johnson.
Catch down low for Lufa. He'll go at Lashley. Just get his body inside and try to put that up and in. A lot of contact, nothing called. Refs letting him bang down there. This is Johnson. Pulls up, toe on the line anyway. Rims out. Lashley then rejected by Lufa
with his third.
And Myerscough Lufal, from a week ago watching him, is really finding his feet here today.
Yeah.
A few comments on the stream about his impact in Solent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Different dynamic to this Rockets team, who were relatively limited up front last year.
Yeah. KV Live coming in. Yesterday came in against Solent. No nerves. Knocked down a 3, got himself fouled, knocked down his free throws. Here comes the zone now. Early season, bit of zone. See if coaches have prepped.
Bit of 2-3 extended here. Dixon trying to find KB Live in high post, and it's Tolowazy blows by Levi Knoll, who'll foul him on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, 5 minutes in, maybe that's just a little change up there for Hemel. Good coaching team as well.
Absolutely, one of the well-coached teams in the league, and Baines wide open, doesn't get that one, finds Pinnock, and it's inside to Tolowazy. Going to use his footwork to get inside
underneath, doesn't he?
Puts it up and in. Great footwork by the veteran Sam Tolowazy. Bodie Adalola in the game.
Thank you to Kelson for keeping us on the sound check as well. Lots of you. Let's go Storm.
Noel nearly picked off by Dixon.
Yeah, Dixon being a pest, isn't he, there? In the nicest possible way, and guess what? He comes up with it, and they're off and running.
3v1, should get a conversion here. Drops off to Tolawase.
And he loves it! Tolawase, he loves the opposite side of that one.
Rockets extending the defence now. Tempo just picking up. Open up a 5-point lead.
Yeah. Coach Thorne's back with us as well. No soft switching off Taylor, he says. We'll make sure that message goes.
They go pick the pop, Taylor and Lashley. Lashley then pulled up. There's a hand in there from Tolawase, missed by the officials, and they'll go lead ahead. It's a bit of a tough lead there from Pinnock. Puts his hand up, and this is Bodie Adalula going the other way.
Bodie's an absolute veteran of these situations, isn't he? Pinnock, what great defence again.
Gets his board.
And good offence now needed for the transition. Foul by Lashley. Hey, good possessions there, Mark, for Rockets. Good defence by Pinnock. Tough to keep someone like Bodie in front of you as well. And credit to Bodie, who's been lighting up Division 1 for so many years. He's always been a tough, tough cover.
Nice to see Pinnock also playing his way into the game, nicely today.
Yep. Nicola H is saying, let's go Storm, and saying family as well. And you've got some supporters down here. I think 4 of them got allowed in, maybe 5 or 6.
Shaquille Lewis has checked into the game for Hemel. They'll stay in this zone, and it's KB Live at the high post and front rims this one.
Yeah, a bit too early in the shot clock for that one to be your only shot.
Noel going the other way, D'd up well by Dixon.
Yeah, Dixon's getting his hands on so much stuff. Coach Lee.
Bodie shrugs off Baines, and he's called a foul. Interesting who this might be on here. It's on 12. Is that Dixon? No, who's it on?
KV.
It's on KV Live.
Yeah, and KV made the mistake of thinking he was Myerscough, and he went up and left his feet rather than know who I am, go to the lane, get your body in there. If they shoot over the top of you, you'll take it, but you're in a great position to rebound.
Good aspiration to fill that one.
Yeah, Drew Spinks has spent the best part of 30 seconds discussing with referee Ian Lester. Still going.
The word discussing is so well placed, by the way.
And thank you.
Bodie misses his first on the line.
Do you agree with me, Mark? There's certain people that go to the line, you just never think they're going to miss. I think Bodie's in my shot, and I've got no evidence for that whatsoever.
No statistical evidence, you just believe it. Yeah. Well, he's made the second one, so.
Yeah.
AJ Bassey and Myerscough Lufal back into the game.
Yeah.
So is Lewis champion. Good lineup here for Rockets.
Yeah. And good. This is that big 4-5 lineup with KV at 4. And
champion.
I'm pretty sure with that lineup, Coach Pearson wants KV and Myerscough to touch the ball.
Yeah, doesn't get the touch inside there.
Yeah.
Lewis champion dialing his own number early. He will now defend Taylor Johnson.
Here's that ball screen. KV's covering it.
Good show there by KV.
Yeah, good defense. Yeah, Shaq Lewis. Teo. Makes it, gets fouled by Lufal. That will be his second foul, Mark. 2 minutes to go in the first.
It's not the one you want your big to give up, is it, that one? Oyefusi, a decent 3-point shooter, but I think I'd probably let him have that.
Yeah.
Steve Hall says, shout me out, please. Spoke to you both briefly before last night's game. Yes, you did. And I appreciate the conversation. So, shout out you. Thank you for your feedback and a good chat before the Solent one. And we got a good game out of it, as we suspected.
Yeah, interesting now because this is that lineup. KV's now very involved at the 5. Hemel back into their man-to-man stuff. Rockets are going to need to find scoring. KV fancies that little... Yeah, Bassey, he loves that. He loves that little backboard, gets his feet to the middle. He's saying to the ref, I think there's contact there. Ian Lester saying, we're okay, we don't need your help. Thank you very much. Yeah, over the top of that ball screen. Good defensive coverage by Baines and Tolawase. Yeah, great coverage. Great coverage.
Get that one.
Yep.
again, we've said this, haven't we? The defensive play of the Rockets guards is upgraded this year. You know, 3-4 deep at the guard spot who can really defend the ball well.
Yeah.
Bassey, who's got his last one inside, stays here with Rockets.
Yeah, Bassey's putting pressure on them, isn't he? You know, he's putting pressure on them. He's going north. He's heading to the rim, and he's asked for two calls now. So there's a lot of contact, but good for young guards to keep an eye on that one. Be really aggressive, not just settling for your mid-range jump shot.
Bassey
good fine. KV finds champion. 6 seconds on the clock. 5. Jazz Baines. KV goes up. He gets rejected by Shaq. No possession, so 24-second shot clock violation.
I wasn't sure if that hit the rim or not. I didn't actually look. I presume not.
Blocked beneath the level of the rim.
Call from the ref.
Up to
officials.
140 of you joining us.
What we like.
Show us your thoughts as well. Give us some questions that Mark can't answer. We like those ones.
Most of them, probably.
I mean, great rebound by Baines. Champion did a good job there covering Taylor.
Baines, good kick, finds Bassey.
Bassey wants that one, doesn't he?
And he
really wanted that one.
Great find from Jazz
Yeah, I was
Baines.
just going to say, guard to guard, finding each other. Champion doing a good job. If he can do a good job here on Taylor Johnson, then Rockets are going to be in a much stronger position. Yeah, air ball, 3-on-1, 3-on-2. Bassey likes it, passes it to Tolawezi, fumbles it. Bassey gets him over. Jump ball, whoa. I think Tolawezi was thinking lift off before he did catch ball. I haven't explained that particularly well, but you can see it yourselves.
I always think it's difficult on those 2v1s. You once explained it to Ted Smith, who played here at Rockets, and you said either pass or score. That was the two options.
Yeah.
And he was a guy who liked to score. And this is Newman going the other way, hands off to Shaquille Lewis. Back to Newman, back to Lewis. Throws up the right-hander, and it's followed up by Jack Burnell for 2.
Yeah, and Burnell just got a piece of Bassey in the matchup. Bassey ever the competitor.
Yeah, and there is a like good competitive streak to this Rockets lineup, and Hemel being coached by Drew Spinks, they'll have a competitive streak in them for sure.
Yeah.
And this is Champion and Tolawezi. Champion able to turn the corner and go at Lewis. Finds Baines, closed up by Newman. And that's the end of the quarter. And I completely missed it. Apologies for me completely missing that. Yeah. You missed it as well, admit it.
I just was looking at it, but you were too busy talking, so I politely said nothing, because that's the kind of guy I am. Yeah, and 21-18, I think yesterday we just had the Solent game where we were talking about, you know, defensively, if you're holding a team to sort of 16, 17, 18, you're probably happy, but it's the quality of shots that they're getting as well. And I think, Mark, that's something that we'll always be looking at when a team like this without Polian playing is going to need to make shots from other people, and Lashley showed that, didn't he? He came up big in the first quarter. Can he continue to do that? Because what will happen is Taylor Johnson is going to be having to find his scoring touch, and he is one of the most dangerous guards in this division. So we have to keep an eye on that. Any Hemel Storm fans, tell us what you think about that. How are you going to get on without Polian? Is Taylor Johnson the real deal for you this year? Are you happy with him? I mean, he seems to be fitting in like hand to glove for you, and the coach is doing a great job giving him lots of activity as well. So really interesting this game already. 3 points, Rockets lead.
So just looking at the leaders, it's Tyler Cartano and Taylor Johnson leading the way, both with 7. AJ Bassey has 5 and Jonathan Lashley has 4. Jazz Baines with 3 rebounds. Pinnock has 3 assists already, and Meshach Lufal has 2 blocks.
Yeah, and I think quite an even spread by the Rockets, and not just so much in points, but in just activity. Dixon comes in, does his job, defends really well. Pinnock comes in, defends again really well, gets rebounds. Looks as though it's a team, if they can start to just make things happen a bit clearer on offense. I mean, I'm saying that they scored 21, they're on for 85. I think this is a Rockets team that when they're in the groove can score 100. without really changing into the sort of next gear as well. So interested to see what they do now, whether Coach Pearson sits Lufile, which looks as though he is doing. KV getting some extra minutes. And with that group of the 3 guards, Jazz, AJ, Lewis, and Sam T at the 4. Second quarter on its way, the 141.
This is Newman up against Baines. He'll hand off with Taylor Johnson.
Miles says, let's go Storm. Sorry, Mark. And Joshua Thorne says, love the replays.
Good. This is Newman.
Newman is an absolute handful, isn't he? And
Oyefusi going at Baines, and KB will try and clear that one.
And that's where, I think that's where Tolawase is going to have to be. He's going to have to become that second rebounder. So even though he's on the court on the switch, if he's on the perimeter, we're going to have to see Tolawase button hook and get back to the rim and just go over a few guys and clean some rebounds.
It's KB Live coming across to try and block Taylor Johnson. He picks up a foul, and then he will be subbed out with Tyler Cartano. So this is the smaller lineup for Rockets. Tyler Cartano probably will play the 4 and Tolawase the 5 with guards Bassi, Baines and Champion.
Yeah, interesting lineup. As Leandra Edwards clapping for Reading Rockets. Heidi Cutt says, yes, Taylor is the real deal. We just saw that. Good timing for you on that comment. Kurt Blackman, cameraman. Let's go Rockets, he says.
All tied up here at 21. It's Baines and Cartano at the top. Now it's Champion. They'll go pick and pop. It's broken up by Taylor Johnson, saved by AJ Bassi, and it's another sideline call there, which Coach Pearson already frustrated with the first one and remains frustrated with this one as well.
Someone moved that line, I think, Mark. I think someone's definitely moved that line in the wrong place. Okay, Oyefusi. Yeah, again, he just goes to the town, and you'll see that again, and he just walks past Tolawase and gets all the way to the rim with no help, and Pearson will be frustrated with that. Coach Pearson will be. That's not something that should be happening.
Tolawase wants to go right back at him. Misses the first one, gets the second, and
one. Yeah, all muscle. Tolawase fully deserving the and one on that one. Had a lot of muscle went into that one.
Yeah, one of these guys that will take it personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of pride in Sam Tolawase's game.
Yep.
Tied up here at 23. Tolawase makes it with 24-23. Rockets lead.
Yep. And here's both teams with relatively small lineups. Johnson pinnacling on the Johnson matchup now with that ball screen. Switched by Tolawase. Yeah, good defense. Taylor likes the look of that one. Good rebound by Cartano. Looks for Tolawase. Gets it tapped away. Frustrating. And Burnell's going to pull the trigger on that one.
Yeah, probably make it. Oh, he misses that one.
Yeah.
This is Baines, finds Cartano on that low block, goes front of the rim. Cartano tries again, and he's ripped inside.
Yeah,
Newman takes it away. Taylor Johnson, Baines, good stand. Johnson hits the deck. This one's with Bassi, and Taylor Johnson tries the steal. Bassi with that pull-up again there that you said earlier. Matt doesn't get this one to go.
And that's where we need clean heads. You've got guys on the floor, you're 5 against 4. You've got to get a layup, and you've got to get a good-looking shot on that one.
Baines over the top of the screen. He's going to get called for the reach on the floor.
Yeah.
I suspect.
I think Johnson was fortunate then, because I think if he'd have caught Bassi, that would probably have been unsportsmanlike. And Rockets' slender lead, 1 point lead, Mark. As Johnson discusses with the referee and says, he got my arm. And the referee says, yep, we'll have a look for you. And in what is a really scrappy, almost, I don't think it's a nervous affair. I think it's without it's not looking as though it's game planned right now. It's not looking as though we've got composure and poise. Both teams coming off a game yesterday. I think we're going to see this game improve in quality as we go on, but right now we've got a lot of indecision. We've got a lot of balls being slapped away from players, a lot of a lack of awareness for guys on the offensive end. Rockets doing well, I think, to be one up in this one, to be honest, Mark, because the quality of execution hasn't been where they want it to be, and that's something that they will certainly improve. And slight side note to the game, Bodie, if you'll see that on the film soon, but Bodie is just on the bed with the physio, looks frustrated, boot off, so looks like they could be without the inspirational guard as well.
Yeah, it's got a little bit tight, hasn't it, as you say. I don't think it's necessarily got bad in terms of it's scrappy. I think it's just all got a little bit tight. That being said, I'd expect it from two top teams in the league. This one is the L Lynch Trophy matchup.
Back into the game on 2 fouls in the second quarter early is Myerscough Lufile. Hemel will be, I'm sure, looking to see if they can get anything on him here. If he gets a third, could be trouble. Good
Baines.
deep by
Great
Baines.
defense.
Yeah, and Sam Newman somehow came up with that.
He's very, very tricky, is Sam Newman, and he gets those kind of things to go. So it's not a luck thing. He is that type of guy.
Yeah, and now Sam Newman is having to guard Cartano. So what can Rockets get going off this? They're down into the shot clock again.
I've just lost the shot clock. Oh, there's a six on the shot clock. They'll try to go straight inside to Cartano, and it is a little bit loose from Reading at the minute.
Yeah.
This is Baines on the turnaround on the baseline, likes the look of it, doesn't get that one to go.
Cartano's going to challenge for that one.
Shaquille Lewis secures the board, and this is Oyofusi through Newman.
Yeah.
A nice matchup here with Baines and Newman. Dixon playing Taylor Johnson, tries to go inside. It's fumbled around, and Burnell wide open three. Back rims this one, and Lufile manages to just knock it to Baines. This is Dixon. He'll find Cartano. They're looking early inside for Myerscough Lufile. They're digging down with Newman. Cut from Cartano, and Lufile looking along the baseline. Finds Dixon, who finds Pinnock. He'll drive inside with 7 on the shot clock. Needs something here for Rockets. Finds Dixon with the slow bouncer.
Yeah.
Short. Oyofusi clears, and it's Hemel going the other way.
Good defense there by Hemel. Again, just broke that one up.
Johnson just walks around the high screen, and it means Pinnock's on the high side, and they get him wide open for an easy one. He's not getting many easy ones, though, so far, Taylor Johnson.
No.
Nice slip from Dixon, and it's found by Cartano.
Yeah, good pass by Cartano. Needs that. Both teams looking as though they're playing a little bit with the brakes on. Physically looking as though they're...
There's that back cut again, and another easy one, Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, and I think you'll see Coach Pearson with a sub. That's 2 layups too quick.
Nice crossover by Pinnock. He'll get inside. Lufile then finds Cartano. Thought about one more. Cartano all the way down the middle. Just front rims this again, and he's not quite clicking. This is Johnson, who has nearly six quick ones. Rockets go the other way. Cartano will get this one to go. He doesn't, but it's Lufile on the follow.
Yeah, and I think Cartano is going to be looking back at that one and saying, hey, I should have 15 in the first half here, and we should be cooking. And what he has done is Myerscough has managed to keep his team within 1 with a little mini run from Hemel Storm as well. So in comes KV and gets Myerscough out, trying to protect him on his 2 fouls. 185 you joining us. Ivan Javon Smith says Myerscough needs to touch the ball every time down the court. Them boys can't guard him. Okay, coach.
Fair assessment.
Yep.
This is Champion and Levi Knoll. And then I think the comment from the Hemel bench has been on that type of play. There's been a lot of contact, holding on kind of the down screens, and Baines is trying to fight over the top. This one finally cool, so it'd be interesting to see how this opens up. 29-28, Hemel lead this one by 1.
Yeah, but I think now, Mark, that the officials are setting a standard of saying that's what we're going to have to call now.
The trickies.
This part of the game.
Sam Newman through the middle, and he'll try and squeeze along the baseline. He does, puts up the left, he doesn't get it to go, and Cartano with the clear.
Good boards, Cartano, and now he can get out and running.
This is where he's good. Straight down the middle, doesn't get another one to go, and there's 17 he could have had, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, he's got 1 for 4 in transition layups, and that's, that's easy stuff.
Oyefusi, who's made a few, and he got fouled on one before, and he's been fouled again here, but this is by Tolawase.
Yeah, and that's the second 3-point shot that's been fouled. One's been made, so this could end up being a 7-point mistake in the first 16 minutes. And that's just personal discipline as well. I think it's probably now with most teams, as Tayo looks to shoot the first one. Just back rims that one. I think, Mark, with the amount of people that shoot the three, got to do a good job. Coach has got to do a good job on how to defend it. As Tayo gets the second one to roll. Yep, Karina Boss. Go Meshach, we love you, your Dutch family. And a rebound taken by
Shaquille Lewis.
Yeah,
right-handed hammer.
And just stood KV live up and just went straight to the rim and finished as he should do. And
good kick by KV.
And that one's short. Tolawase's up on the backboard. Do you need to come down with that one, Mark?
Probably could have done, but it's going the other way. This is Levi Knoll trying to find Burnell.
Yeah. Cartano on the Burnell matchup. Oyefusi looks at it. Levi Knoll reverses it to Sam Newman.
Newman and Champion. Good matchup. Good show by Tolawase. This one off from Oyefusi, who made a few, and it's AJ Bassi going the other way. Cartano looked at another one, but it's Sam Tolawase inside as the kind of .4.
How is there?
There's a lot of contact and finally throws one up, and the frustrated Sam Tolawase will go to the line for 2.
Yeah. And Miles says, shout out to Shirley. I might have read that wrong. Timeout called, and I thought this sub might be coming. I think this game's been asking for a little bit of Ronnie Agekwe. Give that youthful energy. We've called it early, so I've got a feeling Ronnie can come in, defend, be lively on the boards, can give the senior guys a bit of a pep talk.
This feels a little bit for me like Thames Valley Cavaliers from the week previous, where if you look at Reading's top scorer is Sam Tolawase with 7. Cartano has 7, who hasn't scored since the first quarter. So the main scoring threats for Reading aren't really doing much, and they're in a 4-point ball game with the Hemel Storm.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Hemel Storm relying on Taylor to give them a little bit of a point around their offense, which I think is really suiting them. Lashley came in, started the game really bright for them, got the scoreboard ticking, didn't he? And then lots of other people contributing as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Coach Pierce is going to be doing to try and change a little bit of that energy. He'll look at that 1-4 set that Hemel ran as well, and he'll be asking his bigs to help off maybe Shaq Lewis and some of those guys, and make sure that Taylor Johnson isn't getting open 2-point layups. He's got to make Taylor and Sam Newman take tough shots as they did in the last couple of minutes. So I still think this game, Cartano could absolutely take over this game. He's finding himself at the rim. He could possibly be on 16, 18 points in the first half. So
3 minutes 20 to go here in the second quarter. Hemel Storm lead this 32-28. Lead's been going back and forth since the first minute, really.
Yeah.
And it's Sam Tolawase on the line for 2.
And it looks good, that one. Sam Grant joins us from all the way out in Florida.
Beautiful Melbourne, Florida.
I think Melbourne's in Australia, Mark.
Well, check your geography. Tolawase makes 2.
And in his Agekwe, the matchups is that trap. Coach Pearson looking for it, trying to just change a bit of energy. Agekwe is in on Taylor Johnson. This could be an interesting matchup. Young man, and that's team fouls. And I think for the younger guys, any of the younger players watching these Division 1 games, have to know where your team fouls are and where you can be. Because Ronnie's come into the game, fouled the best player on the Hemel team, one of the best free throw shooters in the league, and put him on the line straight away. So good opportunity for learning going on down there. As Johnson makes a first one, Coach Josh Thorne doubling his helping Hemel. Can Rockets adjust? Maybe using the high post. Let's see as this game unravels. Johnson is, I think that's 4 for 4 now for him. Champion in. Fires Cartano. Meshach's come back in, guarded by Oyefusi. This is the group. Rockets are the slightly broken offense. And off go Hemel again.
This is Johnson, puts it straight on the deck, finds the middle. Sam Newman wide open left wing, way off on this one.
Not Rockets, like Newman, that one.
No, Rockets go the other way, and it's fumbled a little bit by Champion. Cartano now going at Levi Knoll. Hands off to Champion. Low block with Tolawese. Swings one right, and Myerscough Lufau is stood 4 feet out of bounds this time. There's no question on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. He basically was sat on the bench. And I think these games, Mark, they're real like coaches' games, because you're going to have to get guys in the game that are going to contribute to you, no matter what their previous stats have been like, no matter what you think they can do. It's who can do that on the day.
Bassi turns the corner. Back rims this one, rebounded by Tolawese. Almost freezes for a second. Tolawese just forces one in, and he is fired up today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Rockets are going to need that kind of energy as well, particularly at this end, particularly staying rebounds, and particularly with the Taylor Johnson, who's got himself scoring already. Cartano's got the matchup.
Oyefusi hands off to Newman. Newman will get inside. Tricky Euro step and puts it up with a left hand. Beautiful from Sam Newman.
Yeah. 6-point deficit now.
Champion goes to the crossover. He'll find the lane.
Yeah, and
Cartano.
It's on those minutes.
Tolawase's going to force this. Doesn't. Cartano goes one dribble, front rims it.
Yeah.
He's not got his eye in yet, to use a cricket term.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It doesn't look as though...
Newman again goes up and under. Shaquille Lewis will follow with the right hand.
Yeah,
and this is just opening up at the wrong time, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's absolutely no call there. Lufau nearly. Johnson with a 3. Rebounded by Hemel. This is all Hemel at the moment.
Taylor Johnson with the backdoor alley-oop, doesn't get it to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And held on by Tolawese, who's almost single-handedly just keeping us in it at the moment.
Bassi goes backdoor. Instead, it goes to Cartano. He'll try and turn the corner going right. Lufau wide open at the top. He misses, and this has gone cold for Reading at the wrong time. They're now down by 8 with 17 seconds to go in the quarter.
Yep.
Hemel with a chance to extend before the halftime buzzer. It's Johnson and Cartano on this left wing. We're under 7 now. It's going to go one-on-one. Goes right, spins. Cartano's going to foul him, and he's going to go to the line with 0.9 on the clock.
Yeah, team fouls as well. And you're going to see now, Mark, that we're at the end of this half where second quarter's been not dominated, but it's been stretched by Hemel. Taylor Johnson has kept the scoreboard going, and so has Sam Newman for them. Rockets have just gone with that big lineup and ended up with a Lufau 3. And I'm sure when Coach Pearson is sitting there making his notes, he'll be saying, if we're with that group, we need to be able to punish this group because there's no one out there of any particular size.
Do you think, just having a quick chat while Johnson's on the line, do you think the fatigue, anything to do with this?
Yeah, I would normally say no, but I think yes. I think the mental fatigue of going toe-to-toe with, Solent has probably got a bit of a hangover. I think that's where Coach Taylor misses her first one, makes the second one.
Rockets will want to just keep this safe inbounding.
Yeah.
Champion adjusts his feet, tries to get up, and this is the end of the half. The Hemel Storm lead this 41-32. Close ball game until about the last minute and 30. And Hemel have opened this right up. Leading scorer is Taylor Johnson with 18 in the half. Yeah. Sam Tolawese paces the Rockets with 11 himself. Teo Oyafusi has 7 boards. Reece Pinnock still leading in the assists category with 3. So Matt, just quick summary of the first half before we take a break and come back for the second. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, and I think we are always first to say the quality of Division 1 is high, and that certainly has been the case in the first 20 minutes in terms of the quality of basketball. The quality of athletes and players and coaches still remains very, very high. But you're going to now see a very, very important half-time. And these Lynch Trophy games, Mark, are difficult ones as well. The point spread, if Rockets lose this, and the players will know what the spread can be and what it can't be, and all those other things play into the mentality of this game. I think Coach Pearson will want to see a team with character, and he's certainly seen that when Rockets came back from 20 down to turn Thames Valley over. They saw it last night, coming from 10 down against Solent to get that one and get very close to that one. So I think this is a character half as well. So let's just see what the coaches can come up with on both sides. I'm really excited for it. I think that there's been a good amount of people on the stream making some really good comments as well. So, really, really interesting game, Mark.
We'll be back in about 12 minutes. So go and get your halftime refreshments and join us then. And we've got a good one. It's 41-32. The visiting Hemel Storm lead this one.
Welcome to the John Majeski Academy. I'm Mrs. Baker and I'm the principal. We are fortunate to have excellent facilities here at JMA, from well-equipped science labs and catering classrooms to a first-class sports hall and 3G and mugger pitches. Sport is at the heart of the school, with National League performance academies in football and basketball, trained by national coaches. Academic progress at GCSE and A-level is improving every year, and excellent teaching and learning is our priority.
JMA values are key to our beliefs and the developing of our students. These values are determination, empathy, hard work, integrity, and positivity.
What is commitment? Without commitment, it's very difficult to do everything. Without commitment, sport is nothing. Without commitment, sport can be just recreational tool. Like if we want to have sport as educational tool, it has to be commitment.
So Slam Jam, it's a new initiative by Basketball England, targeted at 7 to 11-year-olds. It's about getting the children to have fun, to link basketball with a fun experience so that we can get lifelong involvement in the sport. And it's really focused on engagement and a fun, positive first experience. So it's not so much about the skill development side of basketball. It's really just about giving people a positive first experience of basketball. They're having fun, they're with their friends, they can develop at their own pace in their own time. So it's really developing on coordination, core strength, as well as basketball skills. So there's not necessarily basketball specific games, but they've got basketballs thrown in there. So they're working on dribbling, shooting, passing in a less structured environment than like a training session. And it's just focused on fun and getting primary school age children engaged. When they come to the first Slam Jam session, they get a t-shirt which they can keep. Each primary school they get some Slam Jam basketballs and a little goodie bag that the children can take home. And another thing, throughout the session, if we see like someone's doing really good at a certain skill or teamwork or being just nice and friendly to other people, they can get stickers. Good practice and sportsmanship as well as being good at the skills. So I think the reason this program is different is that there's a 12-week curriculum and there's different things to work on. And obviously, as a coach, you can kind of chop and change a little bit as is appropriate for the age group that you're teaching. But it just means that everybody's getting that same fun, first positive experience. Literally, we're just trying to get them to have positive experiences with basketball so that later on they can be maybe even just a supporter of the game. Go online, get in touch with Basketball England. They can also search Slam Jam for the local centres to them that run the initiative, and they can inquire and maybe even get a coach to come in and run a 12-week session.
Semi-final by 12 points and move through to the gold medal game. They're guaranteed a medal here.
Welcome back to the John Madejski Academy. Mark Halewood joined by Matt Johnson in this Lynch Trophy group game. It's the Hemel Storm leading this one 41-32. And Matt, while we had a bit of time before the start of the second half, we thought we'd revisit Coach Andrea and her legacy and pay a bit more time to who's been a real servant of the British basketball community, and just you've had a lot of time with Andrea and a lot of interaction. So what are your memories? What are your thoughts of who was a great lady?
Yeah, first, thank you for what a really great question as well. And you use the word basketball servant, and I think that is probably the greatest compliment that we can give someone in our game. People like Andrea, you never feel she grew up in the game for money. You never feel it was just about her either. You felt that the people that she was always working with, you could always sense that she understood them, and they were more important than any result as well. I was smiling actually the other day because Andrea coached Division 1 for the NASA team, who just came up, a real young team, and came and gave Rockets the 2 wins they had in the entire season.
Yeah, a double win.
A double win. And you just, those sorts of things are not supposed to happen, but they do with personality, with character, with all the right things. And I think sometimes we can be judged by whether the X's and O's are right, rather than whether the morality and whether the warmth is. And I always remember Andrea would always shake your hand and always put her arms around you, and there's loads of wonderful pictures of her, putting an arm around and hugging people. And I think it's just what a beautiful epitaph for someone who loved the game, and how many people are showing love for her. She will be sorely missed. And I first met her when I was about 20, 21, I think, maybe a bit older than that, university. And she's been at it feels like she's been at every game, from the BBL to Euro Cup to Division 1 as a head coach, assistant coach, statistician, team manager, table official. And I would definitely have left roles out there, Mark, as well. So I think it's only fitting that the players and the coaches and those of you that didn't spend time with Andrea, take your time to work out what she did, because it's such a lovely thing to be able to talk about someone so positively. And yes, she'll be sorely missed, but there's many, many people out there whose lives are significantly better, not just because of the game. The game is full of people, and there's not enough people like Andrea, so she will be really missed, Mark, and thanks for asking.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, you left quite a poignant message in our group chat, and it's quite an interesting one that you know, her coaching path and journey, you know, that hasn't dictated how she has served the game.
Yeah.
Although she's ended up at, you know, the very highest level.
Yeah.
You know, that we have in this country. You know, whether you think it's the right path, the wrong path for you as a coach, like to think of how many people she's served and impacted. Like I said, I think your message was very poignant and very well put.
Yeah, and I'd also say that a lot of people saying how much she did in London under the great Jimmy Rogers as well, and I think there's some people that they're just great people, you know, and we're people first. We're not players, we're not coaches, we're not administrators. We're all people first, and I think if we can take that from her, she'd be a really happy lady.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Brilliant insight. Back here at this one.
Oh, let's get some joy into this game, shall we? Because it's been hard work, hasn't it?
Well, it's been tough for the Rockets in the first one. They're down by 9, 41-32. Hemel lead this one. Rockets with the first possession. It's Champion and Tolawase. Myerscough Lufar will hand off to Bassi, who nearly got going in the second quarter but didn't. We got 7 on the shot clock. Lufar hands off to Cartania, who really struggled from the floor. Bassi with the 3. Makes it. It's great from AJ Bassi to start the quarter.
Something from nothing as well, right? Something from nothing. Interesting. Let's keep an eye on these. Here's the matchup. The Cartano on Taylor Johnson, and goes straight at him, backdoor layup.
Remind me when we get a break to talk about Taylor Johnson.
Will do.
I had a point and I forgot it in the first half, but we'll go back to it.
Yeah.
This is Champion trying to get the traffic where he wants it. Good skip to Cartano, who's hesitant. Lufar wide open this time. Back rims it, and Champion will just catch an easy board. Tolawase likes the high post.
Yeah.
There you go.
You called that one, Mark.
Yep.
A little bit of tempo to this as well.
Newman now inside. Lufar challenges him at the rim, but the tricky Sam Newman with the finger roll above the extended hand of Myerscough Lufar. Bassi now directing traffic on this right wing. Trying to go big to big with Lufar. Wants to give him an early touch, does in that mid-block.
Yeah, and
he'll go at Oyafusi. The double comes from Lashley. Cartano goes at Johnson on the baseline. Good hands from Taylor Johnson. His foot didn't come up, so not called. Newman goes behind the back, finds Levi Knoll, and this one has just slowed down a tick. Lashley inside, and there's another foul for Lufar as Lashley puts it in and 1.
Yeah, and 37 seconds in, Mark, and in come 3 subs. Coach doesn't like the backcourt. Look at that. 4th sub coming in with KV. And just leaving Tolawase. So complete change of team. Well, 80% if you like your numbers.
I don't want to say I'm into my stats, but I'm really not.
And
Lashley misses the extra.
Coach Pearson looking for something different, isn't he? Rockets had that 5-0 run, little 5-0. They just couldn't stop.
This is Baines who needs to get going. KB Live goes through Pinnock. He'll turn the corner. Dixon also likes that baseline. Not this time. And it's Lashley who skies, finds Newman.
Yeah.
Trying a very ambitious bounce pass. It hits the heels of Tolawase, who didn't know much about it, but it will break up the play and stay with Hemel on the baseline.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when we...
Great help from Dixon.
Yeah, and a little bit of experience, a little bit of toughness as well. Need a little bit of grit.
Good find. Dixon, Pinnock. 1 extra to Baines. KB Live, straight away 3.
Yeah,
this one, front of the rim.
And I think when we look at this, when you've got a team full of guards and you've got Myerscough and KV taking shots, and quite a few of them, coach is going to be saying, where are we? Where's the inside presence?
Yeah, interesting that possession. It leaves Pinnock's hands, leaves Baines' hands, and ends up with the 3 for KB. I mean, I think if you're going to look at numbers, as Taylor Johnson gets another one to go.
Yeah, just bigger than Baines there, wasn't he? Just spun on him.
Baines gets a smash in the chops for his efforts. Yeah. Dixon, Pinnock, Tolawase, KV Live and Jazz Baines for the Rockets trying to find an answer to this Hemel defense, and it's Pinnock. Yeah. He's off right, and the tap as dry as it can be at the minute. Lashley inside. Baines tries to take the charge. Fighting for it is Pinnock. He's going to try and throw it not underneath your rim for fundamentalists.
Yeah, and that's why.
There you go.
It's going to be timeout, and it's going to be 14 points is going to be the difference. And we've talked about character and decision-making, and we've talked about all those sorts of things, and we're seeing a Hemel Storm team that almost rode that little mini wave where AJ strokes a three. Myerscough gets his third foul, has to come out of the game, and Hemel are able to continue scoring from what looks like Sam Newman and Taylor Johnson almost whenever they want. So there's some individual defensive matchups, and there's some stuff there that needs to be corrected. And Coach Pearson, I'm sure, will be talking about defense. And to just flip that comment on its head as well, it looks at the moment like Hemel are taking away the first entry and the first system that Rockets want. So some little adjustments there. And I think maybe the Rockets just need to simplify stuff on offense and see if they can just find some power game and just get... We haven't seen anyone take a really good wide open shot for a while. So let's see what we've got coming out of this timeout from Coach Pearson.
Lots of calls on the stream to get Myerscough back on the floor. He has 3 fouls. Coach Pearson probably protecting him until the 4th, I would imagine, depending on where this one goes. So for those of you who may not know the numbers, there are live stats. If you follow the Rockets YouTube social channels, you will find live stats. But he's on 3 fouls, so he is probably going to sit for a bit longer.
Yeah.
What I was going to say about Taylor Johnson, Matt, is for any of the young scorers out there who see some of the elite scorers, either if it's NBA or if it's EuroLeague, wherever it might be, who take a lot of tough shots.
Yeah.
Taylor Johnson is putting together a monster night, and he's had about 6 by the rim. He's had a couple in transition. He really can put it together in a really, really creative way.
Yeah,
and he's scoring very easily, and it's not tough turnaround jumpers all the time. He's getting right to the gut of the defense as Baines pulls up for 3 and makes it, and we needed one. And there's Jazz Baines.
Yeah, it cuts it to 11 again, and it suddenly seems like a winnable game, doesn't it?
It does, and it's Pinnock playing Noel. The guards will have to really pick up here, switching on the perimeter, and it's Baines on Taylor Johnson, who thought about the back door. It's Noel wide open.
Good defense by Rockets.
Not a great shooter. This one out to Taylor Johnson, who's going to get a wide open look.
Yeah.
And absolutely buries it, and Taylor Johnson is on for a big night this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just moved himself onto 26 personal. He's on for 40 plus.
This is Jazz Baines again, finds Cartano, who will need to get going. 10 on the shot clock. It's Dixon and Cartano in a bit of 2-man game on that right side. Cartano looking to go to the fade. Luckily, Jazz takes it. Cartano will need to pull.
There's another shot clock.
Shot clock violation, and the energy of the Hemel Storm is getting to the Reading Rockets here.
Yeah, and it feels like the mountain's getting higher, but it's you know, it's a 14-point game. This is a 2 mini runs, and you get back into it. And let's see if... And here's that Newman on the run.
Thames Valley a week ago was 18 in the 4th.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's certainly doable. There's plenty of weapons on this Rockets team, and this is Pinnock on the drive, will spin, finds KV Live, looks for Dixon, and again the defense of Hemel just really strong, and Dixon floats one up, and it's Newman who lands on the baseline, and need to find some different guys here. Tends to end up with Dixon or Pinnock, but it needs to end up with Cartano or Baines or Bassi, one of the creators, to get this one going.
Yep, well, Marion S says, get him on court. No one can guard Myerscough. Bruh, 3 fouls. Well, Coach Pearson's listening to you. He's in. 5 minutes to go, and with only 4 points, Myerscough Lufal will be trying to change the future of this game.
And that one's just taken away by Newman. Bassi just gives an easy one up.
And that's not the thing to do when you just come into the game.
Lashley on the fade. Doesn't get that one to go, and cleared by Lufal. Rockets out and running. Would like to see them push the tempo more. Cartano inside now. Needs one to go and gets it.
Okay, there you go. There you go. So Dixon's in and comes in, and Taylor Johnson goes straight over the top of the smaller guards. He's closing in on 30.
Taylor Johnson really getting it done here for Hemel, but Reading still hanging around. 14-point ball game, 4:32 to go in the fourth. Bassi inside. There's that floater he likes. Doesn't get this one to go. Oyafusi with the clear and finds the man of the hour. It's Taylor Johnson. He'll dial his own number, and not this time from Taylor Johnson.
That would have been one heck of a way to go into the 30s, wouldn't it?
It certainly would.
I think we've got Lufal guarded by Teo Oyafusi. He hasn't touched the ball yet. They've got the 4 to 5 screen happening. Trying to find some activity.
Baines is off a foot.
And when you're 14 down, you cannot put that one on behind the back. You've got to put that one where it needs to go.
That is the coach and you talking, and I have to agree with you there.
I mean, I'm all for it as well. I'm getting older. I don't mind people throwing it behind their back, but it's got to get there.
Baines actually did everything right. Held the guard off, got himself into the heart of the defence, and then throws the behind the back pass. And this is Johnson crowded by two guys in Cartano and Tolawese. Newman and Baines. This is a good matchup again. Great defence by Jazz. Baines will go the other way.
Yep, good spot. David Beasley, defensive intensity and shot selection needs to improve for Rockets. I think you've captured that, David.
Sign him up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bassi controlling for Rockets against Taylor Johnson. Jazz Baines will want to get going here. Little fade screen from Mishak Lufal. He's wide open down the middle, but not found. It's Cartano and Knoll. Good look inside for the big man who spins and puts up the right-hander. That may get him going.
Mark, remind me the last time Mishak took a shot.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good start again, and quiet from since the first quarter, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Foul trouble not helping, but
Mishak needs to be ready to help here.
Oyafusi, who's been all right from three this evening, not this time.
Oyafusi's won a lot of games in his career as well. In fact, I think
Cartano finds Tolawese inside. He looked for the contact, didn't really come and misses that one. It's Newman going the other way. Great hands from Jazz Baines.
Yeah, Jazz Baines carried that one in transition all the way.
Bassi down the middle, blocked by Levi Knoll, and this one is turning into a running match. It's 4-on-2 here for Hemel.
I mean,
Newman in the corner, pulls three. This one misses, and
Rockets
Cartano going the other way.
Yeah, Rockets doing the right thing as well, attacking the rim. No fouls yet from Hemel.
Jazz Baines goes back door, looked off by Tolawese, and this is Bassi against Shaquille Lewis. Baseline is wide open, it's Baines. He puts it on the deck, finds Lufal, thinks about pulling, doesn't. Mishak, two on the shot clock again. Baines with the step back pull, doesn't get it going. And another difficult managed possession by Rockets.
Look at this group, Mark. This is the biggest group the Rockets can put on the line, and they've had Mishak's had one shot out of it. So have to do better.
Taylor Johnson goes at Cartano, finds Oyafusi 15-footer this time and makes it.
Yeah.
AJ Bassi finds Tolawese inside, and there's some hands on the floor. There's a lot of spinning and elbows, and Oyafusi goes down and nothing doing. It was a foul on the floor. I think it was going to be Shaquille Lewis called for the foul on the floor.
Yeah.
It's not. It's Oyafusi.
Yeah, I think the official's doing the right thing, just making some calls. Game's getting a little bit loose. Lewis champion back in.
Cartano to the bench.
Yep, Cartano on 9, but 4 for 12. As Rockets continue to struggle, 18 from 48 at 37% from 2. They're 4 for 14, 28.
How many threes have they taken?
14. 4 for 14, 28%. And some of the great coaches I've spoken to about your free throws, they've shot 4 free throws. 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And that's all for the Rockets. Cartano with 1 pair. And Tolawese 3 for 3.
Coach Josh Thorne, not to mention the free throws, you are slacking, Thorny.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he's looking after one of his 11 children.
This is Baines. He's on that right wing with Shaquille Lewis. It's an interesting matchup. Two bigs. Baines not really taking advantage of it. Champion to the one dribble pull-up. Makes it.
Yeah, and I think Lewis has got to give this backcourt another bit of spice as well.
12-point ball game, 58-46. Lashley down the middle. Myerscough doesn't get to it. Bernal trying to keep it alive.
What a great challenge, though. He went right upstairs on that one, didn't he?
Baines finds Bassey. He pulls this one. Doesn't get it to go. It's off right.
Yeah, and I think there's a guard. The guards are desperately trying to shoot themselves into this, but you shouldn't leave Bernal
Don't leave
there.
that. We'll go to shoot into it.
Tolawase snags another one.
Oh, boy.
Gives it away. Lewis comes up with it. Loose from Tolawase.
Lewis down the middle.
Yeah, gives it inside. And I like that. Champion's come in. He's gone to the rim. He's attacked the basket. He's made questions. We're into the last minute. It's 12 points. 2 free throws. Much needed.
I think what is making this game feel further apart than it is because Rockets are not shooting well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously scoring enough to keep pace here. And it was Champion who just kind of lost the handle, and it ended up with Myerscough Lufar goes to the line for 2. But, you know, it's a potentially single digits by the end of the quarter, depending on how the last 2 possessions also play out. Lufar needs to make this free throw to get it close.
Lots of advice from YouTube coaches as Myerscough makes that second one, and worrying that the size of this Rockets team is still letting a 6'4" Taylor Johnson walk inside and pull every string. Yeah, easier said than done.
I was going to say.
Not many players.
He's on for scoring 45.
Yeah, Taylor Johnson had 30 against BBL opposition last year.
Levi Knoll misses, and it's Champion. They could get a 2 for 1 here if they hurry. Bassey knows that, pulls the trigger, and that's beautiful from AJ Bassey.
Good
they should get
ahead.
one more crack at this. There's about a 2-second differential, game clock and shot clock.
You're right. No fouls to worry about either, so Rockets can really put the heat on here. No Taylor Johnson. Lashley just pumps one up.
There we go. 10 seconds.
Tolawase with 10 seconds. Baines knows.
Going to go early screen. Baines to free himself up. Goes hesitation. Tries to step back. It's tipped. It's not tipped, excuse me. It goes the other way. And you just wish there maybe Baines holds on for a couple more seconds and dials his own number.
Yeah, that's just end of shot clock discipline, isn't it? You know, and that's something that will come with time as well.
Oyefusi from deep. Oh, back rims it, Oyefusi from 25 feet.
Absolutely looked like that was
coming. It was from where we were. It was dead on.
Yeah, and it's an 8-point game, Mark. You called it 45 seconds to go, saying this could be a single-digit game, and Rockets have made about 3 shots and got some rhythm. Taylor Johnson goes out. Hemel looked like a different opposition without Taylor Johnson, and of course they're Greg Polian light as well. So. This team is loaded with offensive talent, and anyone that's watching and scouting them is going to have to do a really good job. And we said about Taylor Johnson is going to make any single starting 5 of this division, of this team in this division, of this league this year. So absolute talent, and they're doing one heck of a job to protect that lead to 8 points. But this is again a winnable game for Rockets, and we know Hemel are going to be there or thereabouts, as we know that. But I think we've got 10 minutes ahead of us where, if Rockets can find a little bit of offensive rhythm, I think they've got enough defense in them. I think this is a game that they can take very, very close and get over the line with.
Yeah, great summary, Matt. As we just take a little look at the leaders. Taylor Johnson has 28. We've kind of jinxed him since we got him just pre the 30-point mark, and he stopped then. Tolawase has 13. Bassey now has 11. Cartano 9 for the Rockets. Teo Oyefusi 9, and Lashley 8 for the Hemel Storm. Sam Tolawase has his double-double. He has 13 points, 11 rebounds. Teo Oyefusi has 4 assists. Tyler Cartano also 4 assists for Reading, and Teo Oyefusi has a chance at a double-double with 9 and 10 at the minute.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the free throws. When you take 6 free throws in 30 minutes, it's telling you that you're not aggressive enough. It's telling you that you're not putting the team on defense at a disadvantage enough and attacking enough in those situations, and that can be to do with passing, it could be to do with finishing. It's not just dribbling the ball. So let's see if Rockets can really kind of get themselves to the line, keep the scoreboard ticking over, and give themselves some easy deuces, I think they say, Mark.
Nice, mate.
Thanks, bud.
Reading do have some 3-point shooters that can get it going in Bassey, Champion, Baines. There's plenty of scoring potential, but they need to stop Taylor Johnson on this end, and it's Champion on him. It's Lashley and
Champion doesn't need to help here, does he?
Not at all.
Yeah, there you go.
Lewis and I discussed this after the game as Oyafusi makes a 3 and he's got another one to go. 11-point ball game, 9:38. Tolawezi just barrels his way forward. It goes the other way. And that's the kind of yin and yang you get with Tolawezi. Sometimes the full-on approach works, and other times it becomes a bit of a hindrance, and that time it...
Yeah, but it's just too early for that, isn't it? When your team's just been scored on, when your team's been scored on, that's the time for you to make sure you get the best shot you can get.
This is Taylor Johnson, splits the double, and it's Lewis Champion who hammers him inside, and Taylor Johnson will go to the line for 2. Dan Pearson really needs to, figure out his game plan here in the 4th and hope that he can get some stops. Certainly find a way to slow down Johnson and Oyafusi.
Yeah, and I think if this was later in the season, you'd be seeing a lot of different zones and a little bit of zone press. You'd be seeing some stuff to just change the rhythm of the game. I think one of the things is Johnson makes the first one. I think one of the things we've seen from Coach Pearson before is he likes to get into it and trap a little bit. There's some success with that against the Cavaliers. Not quite able to do that if you don't score, though. So
a credit to Hemel today. They
yeah, absolutely.
Without Poli and without Bodie Adalola, who's been out since the 1st.
Yep.
Or midway in the 2nd. So they're a little bit short-handed, but they're a deep roster, so they're doing a good job, and they lead this one by 13.
Yeah.
After Rockets had it down by 8 at the end of the quarter, and just stalling a little bit here. It's Bassi with the ball, goes at Burnell, gets himself to drop one inside to Tolawezi, and he's fouled by Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
That will be on the floor.
And you can see there where Rockets just stall because they can't make the entry pass, and there isn't a second entry that needs to happen straight afterwards. They don't get the first entry, they need to go straight into secondary pressure entry.
Great point, man. This is Baines, wide open for 3, and front rim, I thought it was dead on.
Yeah, looked good from here as well, didn't it?
Doesn't get this one to go.
Lashley's on the run. Baines breaks it up.
Blows up the handoff.
Coach calls 2, and this game has probably got 3 minutes in it of if Hemel get on a run, this game could be done. If Rockets can break up a little bit of this.
Burnell wide open from the left wing, and he gets it to go, and Jack Burnell is a prolific 3-point shooter.
Yeah, and that's his first one as well. He's had a couple of ones where he's missed them, and Hemel just missed their assignments there, and Tolawezi takes full advantage.
The difficulty for Reading now is they can't exchange buckets anymore. They've got to string some stops.
Yeah, and here we go. Champions on the run. And that is just the epitaph of the game right there. A really hard-working Rockets team just coming out there and just fumbling it.
Our baseline camera just got hammered by Tolawezi as well.
Yeah. Well done to young Jade.
Hope Jade's all right down there.
First time on the camera. Not that you'd know it from some of the quality shots. There she is. Doesn't know she's on film. She'll know later. And
trying to go inside to Lou Farr, they do on this mid-block, and it's Oyafusi defending him well. Just tries to pull the chair on him. Kicked out the double. It's Bassi with that floater and gets this one to go. And this is where they've got to start stringing some stops together. This Rockets lineup needs stops.
Absolutely. Good lineup, though. This is a scoring lineup here. A bit of pressure. We're going to see the ball. Oh dear.
Wanted a jump ball, no call. Burnell on his tiptoes and makes another amazing shot from Jack Burnell with the shot clock winding down. This is Baines. Goes pick and roll with Tolawezi. Now Champion. Trying to find Lou Farr inside. He does. Great position for the big man. He'll just bulldoze his way in.
Yeah.
And we're waiting on the call here. Officials will talk this one through. Just wondering if they're differing calls. Nope, and it'll be
defensive foul.
Yep.
15.
Inside
the charge circle anyway.
His third.
just about 200 of you joining us to watch Tyler Cartano come in, and can he help turn this slowly revolving tide at the moment? Bassi goes out and Champion goes out. Battle weary. In comes Pinnock. And Cartano. Myerscough for 2.
Coach Pearson with 2 timeouts here. Coach Spinks has all 3 of his in this 4th quarter. I imagine if the gap doesn't close soon, Coach Pearson will look to reassess, take some time to reset the troops for the final kind of 5 minutes and maybe save one if they get to an end game. But it's still the Hemel Storm maintaining their double-digit lead at 13.
And it's 13, and it feels as though it could be still close. AJ Bassi with the Tyler Johnson matchup now. Cartano with Newman. Can Cartano keep Newman where he needs to be? And
Burnell's made his last 2, and he makes another! Jad Burnell goes 3 for 3 in this 4th quarter, and he has it going.
Yeah, and I think that's where we'll look at that film. Yeah, good find inside, timeout called. I think Mark, Coach Pearson will look at that and he'll just say, right, we need a little bit of individual knowledge now, a little bit off the scout.
So Coach Drew Spinks takes time out at 72-58. As I say, this is the exchange of baskets that will not work for Reading in the final 6:33.
Which is ages, isn't it? It's ages in basketball. Sure. It's ages. DJ Dan spinning the tunes of a 1990s club classic.
I'm a big fan of this one. Not going to lie.
But, yeah, I mean, I think... and it's strange, we've been here before and we've said, look, it's 14, but it feels like it could be 6. It feels as though, 2 stops, 2 threes, and this game is all of a sudden a totally different personality. So, but Rockets have got to make that happen. They're defending with a bit more spirit. They've got fouls to give. They're in a positive situation for making a run at this, but can they keep Taylor Johnson from scoring? Can they defend well enough for the whole shot clock? And to be honest, can Myerscough Lufal get touches in the lane early enough where he's not being doubled and triple teamed quickly enough? So this is going to be a recurring theme for Coach Pearson. He'll be watching this game back with great intent, looking at how the character of his team is coming out. And he's gone with a group here that's a gritty team as well. He's gone with the biggest lineup that we've got. So it's going to be really important to see how particularly Tolaway's and Cartano defend. Pinnock, an elite defender at this level, he'll get the matchup. He may well end up with Taylor Johnson. Let's have a look. Dixon coming in. I think that could be the change of lineup. Cartano at the 4.
The boring stat factor for me.
Yeah.
If Hemel get themselves in team fouls, they have 3 already in the first 3:33.
Yep.
I think that's when it could get interesting.
Tyson Netchen, Myerscough should be getting 85% of the touches.
I love that. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm in.
It's straight after the timeout.
Little hesitation from Johnson. Finds Oyafusi. That has to be.
Absolutely, yeah. Well challenged. And you'll see that then Lufal was prowling against Taylor Johnson and was looking to see if I think he'd have got a piece of that all over the backboard as well. And Taylor threw it out. And then Cartano just challenged it. A little bit of doubt. And here comes the 1-3-1 zone for Hemel. Let's see, they showed a little bit of that earlier. Will Rockets be more prepared? Looks like it. Bassi looks as though he comes straight off and makes the 3. Good job from the timeout coach Pearson.
I think prowling is an adjective we need to use more in basketball terms.
He definitely was.
Don't hear it often, do you?
Defensively prowling. Oh, hello, Lashley on the run.
Lashley fumbles it, but they get away with one. It ends up with Newman. It's Pinnock on Taylor Johnson on that far side. You'll see no help there. And Burnell, shot fake.
Yeah,
he's too close. He's gone too close.
Way too close to the basket.
He needs to be another 18 feet further back. If you're a Hemel Storm fan, thank you so much for tuning in. Difficult to visit at the minute, so I appreciate you taking the time to join. And Rockets fans still at home, again, we'll be back in the Mead soon as Sam Newman goes on the run and puts that one in. Gets the lead back to 13, but we appreciate everybody. Pinnock probing. This is now Tyler Cartano misses that one. Bassi made one there a minute ago, and he's going to make one more.
Make another one.
AJ Bassi gets it within 10. And Burnell fouled on the run.
Yep. Good foul as well. Rockets only one foul. I think there'll be some learning off that as well. Using your fouls as well, not giving up anything easy.
Do you adjust offensively now, Matt? AJ's made a couple. Do you try and run a few things by design, or at least have a bit of emphasis to try and get him the ball again?
For who, sorry, Mark?
AJ Bassi, who's made 2 threes.
I think so. But I think more importantly, you just run everything. Oh, dear. There's a lot of contact there. Reese just tripped up in the open court.
I'm glad
Oyefusi
gives him a quick dap because he knows.
Yeah. And that normally is just called foul anyway, but as we say, on to the next. So 10-point game, Rockets ball. Bassi sort of got his nose up a bit now, hasn't he?
Yeah. So I don't know what the conclusion was. Is do you go to him by design or a little bit more emphasis?
I think good offenses find good players, you know. Good offenses find good players in the moment, but I don't ever believe that you shouldn't be just finding one guy. But, yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Am I going to be proved right here, Matt? They found team fouls with about half the quarter left. I always think it is a big equaliser if you're trailing in the fourth and you have a bit of time left, because it puts pressure on the Hemel defence now that they can't be as heavy-handed everywhere because you immediately get 2 shots.
Yeah, I mean, I think you also see some offense and defensive subs from Coach Pearson. That's what he seems to like doing. As Reese, So, free throw shooter went in early. 211 of you, highest number so far.
Love that. We broke 200.
Yep.
Big fan.
And Elion says Meshach and just shouts Meshach.
Just yelling out.
Dixon in. Good matchup, that one. Dixon's a good match on Sam Newman, especially with a couple of fouls to give. He can experience enough to use that. Bassi on Taylor Johnson is going to be an interesting one. Yeah.
Thought about the 30-footer.
Can they keep the ball out of Johnson's hands? Tolawezi, great defense by the Rockets.
Numbers. Cartano needs to finish this one. He will.
He won't, but Dixon knew he was going to miss it.
Gets it back.
And Johnson's off on the run. Again, good defense. Back to 7 points and frustration as the ball was tapped from behind. As you see, Cartano just leaving another one on the rim. And
Dixon with an incredible effort to keep it alive and cover his teammate.
Cartano makes the most impossible shot, misses the easiest one.
Yeah, not to be hypercritical. It's one of those where if he makes it, you probably don't leave Taylor Johnson on the leak out as well. You know, they're plays that have to go down, you know.
Yeah, and absolutely just nearly missed Taylor Johnson on that one.
Yep. Newman goes jab step, nearly beats Dixon, but...
Oh, and we left Taylor Johnson.
Fouls on
Dixon. Dixon's coming and using those spare fouls.
Yeah, there we were talking about the team foul advantage, and Dixon's used 2 of them in the last 4 seconds.
Yep, 220 of you on there. This is a 2:35 up to now.
I would say call your friends now. I bet we get a good ending out of this one.
Yeah.
Lashley on the drive. Pinnock takes the charge.
There it is. And this is the sign of that Rockets defense, Mark. You've seen Jazz Baines, we've seen AJ, and we've seen Pinnock put their bodies on the line. Both coaches up for Hemel as you get to see such a great view of this offensive foul. Pinnock jumps off, puts his chest in the way, takes it bravely.
Referees ensuring that the players have been called onto the floor.
Yep, so. You like that, don't you?
Oh, I mean, keep it tidy.
Keep it tidy. Yeah, tuck the corners in.
Get the shirts tucked in.
Yeah,
don't even think about coming in the game until you've been called.
You may joke, Rockets had a technical foul yesterday. Yeah, 6 players on, right?
Yeah, it's true. I'm just being an idiot.
Yeah. So
Rockets within 7.
Interesting group now.
4 to go. High-low. Oh, boy.
Word, yeah, and honestly, that was right there. Anyone can see that again. Cartano Johnson is the spin. Cartano blocks him.
That pass from Sam Tolawese would have ended up in Wokingham.
Good general knowledge, but Wokingham's not that direction.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Yeah,
is it not?
No, it's the M4 down there.
Doesn't that go to Wokingham? No.
No, it would have gone Basingstoke.
Sorry.
Sorry. If it had gone south.
Nobody knows any of the geography around here anyway. It's just you and I.
Absolutely, yeah. Way to take the charge, says, I think that's Mrs. Pearson. And now both teams in the team fouls.
Taylor Johnson tries to go behind the back. Bassey guarding him strong.
Bassey is all over him and
breaks
it up. And guess what? Dixon gets a hand on it. Can Rockets get this one?
Bassey finds himself deep. Needs to find some help. He's going to turn that one over to Oyafusi.
That's just frustrating. That needed a bit of maturity on that one. Offensive foul. Dixon takes it. No idea if that's 2 shots or not, because no possession.
Because we don't know. Because we found out last week that we don't know the answer to this.
The answer.
Or the thing on this one too is, and this is a genuine question.
Yeah.
So Dixon takes a charge on a guy who does not have the ball.
Yeah, it's called a push. I know that much.
Okay.
Yeah, offensive push. Be the same if it happened away from the ball where he just went and shoved him.
Yeah, very difficult though. You know, Lashley's running a lane and looking at the ball. Dixon stands in front of him. I mean,
I don't think the rules are designed just to make stuff easy.
No. I mean, it's intelligent. I guess it's one of that is, you know, if you're in GCCPE talking about the grey areas of rules, that would be
3 minutes to go. Mierzchak touch the ball. Hemel load up.
Still a 7-point ball game.
Mierzchak just goes right at the heart of that defence.
5-point ball game. 3 minutes to go.
Everyone that's been shouting Mierzchak on the stream
just shout it again.
They're slapping the table.
Oyafusi and Tolawese been a fun matchup tonight.
Yeah, and
now Rockets in team foul, so they will also have to adjust. Both coaches 2 timeouts, each 2:58 to go. Hemel lead this by 5, 74-69.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Evan Milligan, guard's got to make better reads, man. Yeah, and I think you were probably referring to Bassey getting caught underneath there. That's what happens when you end your dribble without knowing what your outcome's going to be, and you just end up somewhere. Tolawese skies for the rebound. Has this game got Jazz Baines' name on it, Mark?
Well, he is good in the clutch.
Yeah, and same thing there that Bassey's asking about Taylor Johnson, saying.
Blue foul now with Baines. There's 8 on the shot clock. Baines tries to draw a foul and
3
does.
Free throws. 3 free throws.
Is he going to call it on the floor? On the floor.
Bodie.
It's on the floor.
It has to be 2 shots then.
Correct. I don't want to say he bottled the call, but
2 shots for Baines. No, you just said it.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
Josh
Jazz
Thorne
jumped into a player while shooting a 3, and somehow he's shooting 2. You make sense of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to say that it was me, but I'll be that guy if I have to.
Yeah. In comes Pinnett. As Baines misses the front end of one.
The team is screaming for Isaac Round. Well, when I saw him against Thames Valley, he walked in the game. He touched the ball in 1 second and banged his first 3. So,
yeah, and Baines missed
a pair. We'll get that one back.
Wants to go out and shoot a 3, clearly.
Cartano and Knoll.
Yeah.
The little flare screen to Bassey. He will get all the way inside and just blows the layup. And it's
2 unsportsmanlike foul against Levi Knoll. And I'm not entirely sure why.
No, I think there was a few kind of contact and afters or whatever it might have been.
Yep.
I was watching the ball going the other way. I only caught the very tail end of it, so couldn't tell you exactly what the call was.
Yeah, no, none of us can.
Certainly had Tolawese involved.
Yeah, and official called unsportsmanlike and stopped the play. Hemel
so again,
Storm were out on transition.
Chance to bring this to for how many for unsportsmanlike? Free throws.
2 in possession.
2 in possession. So there you go. So we've got a chance to get this within 4. and the ball back with 2:24 to go.
Yeah, after being 300 down.
And shooting 1 for 97 in the first.
If anyone has just joined us, those are exaggerated statistics.
Yep.
Please see FIBA Live stats.
for an accurate depiction of the game.
Yep, and officials.
Speaking of
unsportsmanlike foul by number 11, I think. No, just a holding foul. So it's black ball end line. They've rescinded that one.
Okay.
I think they went to VAR with that. They could have asked us, you know.
The stream team would have been all over it with multiple angles of the same thing.
I think that's something that we could add to that. Hometown refereeing.
Johnson leads all scorers. He's got 30. AJ Bassi now with 19. Tolawezi with 15. Teo Oyefusi has 13 and 10 rebounds. And Tolawezi has 12 rebounds. So those guys both with double-doubles. 2:24 to go. 6-point ball game. Hemel lead this one by 6. They go directly inside to Lou Fowle, who bulldozes his way in, and they'll call a
foul called on the baseline.
Nope.
The referee called travel first. Yeah, referee on the baseline calls foul. Referee in trail calls travel. Again, somehow we've managed to get a close game.
Yeah,
this had the feeling of a blowout all the way through.
Some of the Rocket offense was a little bit like pulling teeth this evening, as they get a leak out, and Shaquille Lewis almost comes up the tip by Tyler Cartano. We'll go the other way, 3-on-2, drops it off to Pinnock, who just fumbles it, and
just
turnover at a crucial time there for Reading. It's still a 6-point ball game. Taylor Johnson inside, he's fouled by Dixon. He'll go to the line for 2.
And this is 3 really, really good offenses for Rockets that could have been down here with. This could have been a 2-point game now with a completely different pressure on it. 2 fumbles in a row.
This is a big swing in possession. They get a 3-on-2 that ends up in a turnover. It goes the other way, foul Taylor Johnson. He has a 4-point to 8-point swing, this one potentially.
Yeah, and you'll see that Coach Pearson going offense and defensive subs. Taylor Johnson makes that one. We've said that a few times tonight as he goes to 31 and 9 for 10 from the line. 10 for 11 for him, over 90%.
Shot more free throws than the Rockets team at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rockets are going to need to score quicker as they front.
Inside to Lou Fowle. The kick is way over AJ Bassi's head.
Yep. It's the right look. It's the right look, though, as the double comes and you see Hemel just drop to zone, 2-3 zone as soon as that ball goes inside. Load up on it.
Cartano and Knoll. Bassi has Taylor Johnson. This is Oyefusi's also shot well. Sam Newman wide open this time.
Yeah.
Front rims it. Shaquille Lewis on the follow, and that's big. Timeout call by Coach Pearson. I was just looking over to see if he would do it, and he will. He'll have a chance to advance the ball. And what was a potential 4-point ball game after the 3 versus 2 has now spread the other way, and Hemel lead by 10.
Yeah, and we're getting into the sort of points differential, into the Lynch Trophy stuff, and information we're getting is that if Hemel win by more than 12, then they will progress. I think it's 12 or more. If Rockets lose by 11 or less, we think we're going to just check that information. Rockets, if you're going to lose, you lose by the smallest number you possibly can in these games and get yourselves, the idea of the Lynch is to get into the quarterfinals, get more games under your belt, get your preparation right.
It's actually proved to be a really entertaining early season tournament, hasn't it? In that it's a chance to give all your guys a bit of a run, and the doesn't count against league play, so you still got everything to play for league and playoff. So credit to the Lynch Trophy. It's kind of really serving its purpose for a really good view of competitive early season basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Coach Pearson's looking at all these games, isn't he? And he's finding the way, and each game trying to find a way to get the best out of the guys that he's got. There's certainly a talented roster. Talent on both sides of the floor here, and most of the teams in Division 1, we said right at the top of the show, Mark, this is going to be one heck of a league this year.
Rockets ball down 10. 1:36 to go in the quarter. Bassi, Baines, Tolawezi, Cartano and Lufile. As you said, Matt, it doesn't have to be threes, but it needs to be quicker than this. And it's Tolawezi trying to get inside. They double down. There's numbers on that far side. Cartano throws one up off the back rim, doesn't get it to go. Dumps it off inside to Tolawezi, and he gets that one to go. 8-point ball game.
Off and running. Taylor Johnson in transition.
Great defensive effort.
Foul again. Jazz Baines right in the mix. Keeps it at 8. That could quite so easily have been a 10-point game.
Huge play from Jazz Baines, who just keeps it in single figures with a one-on-one shot against Taylor Johnson. Again, needs to be quick scoring here. You know, you're thinking probably 10, 12-second offense max.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be quick, doesn't it?
Bassi and Baines, they'll go screen. There's the fade to Baines. Cartano needs to look early.
Yeah, going into Tolawezi's side this time. He gets it slapped again.
8 on the shot clock, and Tolawezi
foul, 2 shots. And then Mierzak just
hits the freebie.
Measures the 3. Yep. Heidi Cut saying, come on, Storm. Nicola H. I think that's cloud. I'm assuming that's a storm. Looks like sheep from where I am. Oh, no, it's definitely a storm. And ABCD Pearson, stay in there, Rockets. Absolutely right. Great to be joined by 254 of you.
Love that. Love that.
Absolutely. Question to be asked here when Mierzak going out with 51 seconds left. He'll come straight back in. But
offense, defense, as you say, Coach Pearson very switched on with his rotations in the clutch.
Yeah, but maybe on this sort of stuff, Mierzak for offensive rebounds here. If Tolawezi does miss one, which let's hope he doesn't, and he does not.
It would have been your fault.
Clever.
Timeout, Coach Spinks. 6-point ball game, 51 seconds to go. We are in crunch time.
Yeah, and Mark, your thoughts, actually if I switch around the other way, your thoughts on how Hemel have managed their roster and how they've managed their lineup without Polian playing, without Bodie.
Yeah.
What's your feelings on that one?
Well, I mean, credit to the Coach Spinks and what he's doing. I mean, I imagine Shaquille Lewis is probably playing considerably more minutes than he normally would.
Yeah.
He's got good production out of Oyafusi and Lashley.
Yeah.
With Polian missing. So, I mean, the thing is, I'm sort of saying that as if these guys are bad options. They're not. This is a strong roster.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to go 10, 11 deep. And there are some guys who haven't featured today who last season were featuring. So, you know, this just shows for me that the level of play we've got in NBL 1 and what we're seeing in the Lynch Trophy is good guys playing early.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'd have said, wouldn't you, without Polian, you'd have said, Mierzak will have 35.
Yeah.
And actually had 4 in the first half.
Yeah.
So credit to... And I always think that's very difficult as well for teams when you match up in strange matchups. Teo Oyafusi is one of the prime defenders in Division 1, has shown that over the years as well, and has guarded guys physically taller than him as well. So has proved to be a thorn in the side. And Burnell coming in with his 11 points. 6-point game here. So will Rockets choose to foul, or will they run this one out and try and get a 2-for-1 quickly at the end of this possession?
No non-shooting fouls here for Reading.
Yeah. Taylor Johnson with it in his hands with 8 seconds to go.
Good clock management here from Hemel.
Switch to him.
Step back
Taylor
from Johnson.
Great defense by Tolawezi.
That's going to be a shot clock violation.
Yeah. Shot clock was way off.
The shot clock was long gone.
Yeah. Shot clock was long gone.
If they count this, it would be an incredible... It was long gone.
Yeah.
Long gone.
It was about a second over, I think, by our count as well. So this is where they need to go to VAR.
If they need us, we've got it.
Yep.
Not sure if we have a shot with the shot clock in it, but that certainly should never have counted. It was 0 for at least a second.
They should go to 10. There is no way this shot can get counted unless they say, we don't know.
Yeah, not sure if we have a wide where we've got the shot clock in it.
If no one knows, Mark? They toss a coin. I just made that up.
Oh, you're just being silly now.
Yeah, they don't.
I can see, and it is the correct decision.
It's the correct call, yeah.
Without question.
251 people knew that was a correct call. In comes Myerscough. Can Rockets, I think they need a 3 here, don't they, Mark?
Without question.
They need a 3.
I mean, you need yeah, you do.
Yeah, whichever way you look at it, they need a 3, or they need something really quick at the rim, an and 1 or something.
Yep. It has to be fast, though.
Good job by Newman, who's just sent Bassi downhill.
There's Baines with the 3. In and out.
Cartano gets it.
Bassi will get another look at it. Need a kick.
Yeah.
Finds Cartano. They need to score quick here. There's a foul. Needs an and 1.
So can Cartano make a pair?
Although Reading get good looks at it.
So he makes the first one, puts them 5 down. He misses the second one. Back rims it, tips it out. Bassi makes a 3.
He's fouled.
+1, technical foul. Is that still enough?
Well,
I think that still ties it.
It's too much for my brain. I know that much. Tyler Cartano makes the first, and that is a 5-point ball game. 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, there we go.
How many free throws has Tyler Cartano shot today, Matt?
I'm going to say 1.
Was his first?
Yeah. I think that is his first, right? I can certainly tell
Just leaning on you for some...
Yeah, one for 1. That is his first.
Staggering.
He's 5 for 16 from the field.
Baines in very early there. I'm glad that didn't get...
4-point game.
Cool. 4-point game.
Time out. Now, will they advance the ball? The question is, they should most certainly advance the ball. You'd think in these moments, can Rockets get a steal?
Steal, 5-second call, old-fashioned way.
Yeah, nice. Full face denial.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, 246. We've been over 250 people connected with this game across the country. And thank you for joining us here. If you have joined us, you have caught the back end of what has been a really tough game to watch. To be honest, the first half was not one for the specialists, but you have to try and win ugly. You've got to do whatever you can in these sorts of moments. And Coach Pearson's finding out more and more about his team, as is Coach Spinks and assistant coach Darlow down there as well. So always good. And I think in these situations you've seen the class of Taylor Johnson when his teammate Polian doesn't play and Taylor carries his team through. Not only that, in fact, someone said on the stream earlier, he's found his teammates. He's got a rise out of Sam Newman. He's got Jack Bonnell making shots. He's got other guys really contributing. So this is a Hemel team that can contribute in many areas of the floor. So credit to Levi Nile, Shaq Lewis, some of the guys that roll. They're more than role players, I think, as you said, Mark. But a well put together roster. And here we go, 10 seconds to go. Can the Rockets get something from here? It will be Taylor Johnson for the down screen. Bassi is going to... It's a lob to Shaq Lewis.
Great out-of-bounds play.
Yeah.
Taylor Johnson throws early, and Sam Newman
off the backboard
walks in, and it's one of those that's...
Yeah. So this is now playing for the score in terms of the differential. So that's why Hemel didn't just dribble it out. So any of those you are watching say, why are you fouling?
It actually slipped my mind for half a second because I thought, why is Taylor Johnson pulling the trigger? But now...
Well, that's why I said it, because I knew you weren't concentrating.
Yeah, you know what I'm like.
Yeah, you're getting carried away.
No, I don't have the capacity to commentate on what I see and think as well.
No.
I can't do both.
No, I don't.
Baines really needs to make these.
Yeah. Technical foul called against... I believe that is against Levi Nile.
Will it have been the foul for... It would have been one of those again that we had yesterday where he's trying to foul the guy dribbling and it gets called. I need to say, look, my thought is on this, because I've seen quite a lot of them, both from coaching and from observing games. You have to make a basketball play, right? You can't just grab a guy's hips like before
absolutely.
And say that's a foul. That is a lot easier to officiate, by the way.
Yeah.
That if you just grab grab his hips, foul, context, all that. But it's one of those where when I was coaching this, I would say just go full speed trying to steal the ball. Like don't think about the foul. Just go through, get the ball. Because then if you get it and you don't foul, happy days. And if you foul, you get your outcome anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got Baines going to the line and does what he should have done the first time. And a 5-point game now. Timeout, Rockets. Oh, Coach Spink's getting excited.
Hey, he's again trying to limit the differential.
Yep.
So 5-point ball game, 4.1. I think it's safe to say Rockets will not win this one.
They will lose the battle but may win the war.
Oh, that's very poignant. Well done.
Yeah, I don't know if that actually rings true.
I don't know. But no, for a point situation, I imagine Coach Pearson, if it was me, I'd be thinking something out of bounds that has an option quick to the rim or a three, has both. You don't have to play this one for the three, right? You're not going to win a buzzer-beating game, but the 2 points will help you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? If you can get a layup out of this within like half a second, and you can steal an inbound, then you've got a chance for the three to tie it. So, and I know it's all about trying to get to the point where you've always got a shot at staying in the game. If they hit three now and both teams are out of timeout, so Hemel have got to inbound it from under their rim. So whatever happens off this, I would expect to see Myerscough come in. I'd expect to see something thrown at the rim. If Rockets can score on it, they close a gap to three. They've got a chance at a deflection or a steal or a 5 seconds. And then maybe, just maybe, we get an AJ Bassi or a Jazz Baines or a Cartano 3 to tie it and take us to overtime.
Wow. I won't say no to
I elaborated.
I won't say no to 5 minutes extra ball, but I think that would be a long shot in this one.
Okay. Well, let's watch this. Just watch this lob to the rim. Here it is. Here it goes, straight in. Oh, dear. Oh, that's a foul. 2 free throws. There you go. He makes a pair. 2 sets, exactly what I just said, Marksy.
I mean, it's not the way you drew it up. Not even close.
But the outcome could be similar.
It could be. So they're going to get a shot at 2. 2 seconds off, or a smidge over 2 seconds on the 4.8.
Yeah. Baines is desperate for the ball in his hands. He's just swished the last one. Heidi, what was the technical for? Was it off camera? Yeah, I think it was. If I'm right, I think it was Levi Knoll suggesting that the referees were not as accurate in their decision-making as perhaps he'd wished.
4-point ball game, 2.1
Here we go. Here we go. Makes this one. Steal the inbound. AJ Bassi for 3 on the buzzer. Told you, Mark. Here we go. Here we go. Or not, as the case may be.
Taylor Johnson lobs one. It was dead on again from here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this one ends. The Hemel Storm win 81-78, but a little flat, as I think as you said, Matt, with the points differential, this should see Reading advance, yes, in the Lynch Trophy?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're looking at. And just checking the Ryan Cartano got a link to the live stats. Yeah, they should have been posted on one of the team's socials. If they're not, then just give us a shout back on that one, and we'll definitely repost them so you can see all the end-of-game scores. And yes, Mark, I mean, it just feels like this wasn't the game that it should be, but it ended up with a possession at the end in the last 2 minutes where Rockets, who have struggled, it could have been a totally different outcome. So 2 teams that I think we're seeing at the beginning of finding themselves as well, not just roster-wise, but character-wise. Good sign for Rockets. So, Mark, this is the 3rd time they've come down from 15 and they've come back and got themselves a sniff in an end game. So that only bodes well for them in terms of how they feel they can compete in the final moments of the game.
Yeah, and there's a lot of conversations going down there on the sideline. Levi Knoll, Drew Spinks. I think they'll be questioning certainly that call's quite a big one. The Levi Knoll, unsportsmanlike or intentional, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite a big one. But in all fairness, it's been a good game by two teams that, come league play, is going to be they're going to be well up there in NBL Division 1, and they're close games and plenty of respect between the teams, and it's ended well and played in such a great spirit. But yeah, Hemel win this one in a slightly subdued fashion because of the point differential, where they win 81-78.
Yep.
And Rockets should see them advance, and then I guess it's down to Hemel and to Thames Valley Cavaliers for the second spot in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and I think this, you said before, Mark, didn't you? Lynch Trophy has just been a real advantage for NBL 1 as well, getting teams in early, rosters sorted out, players settling in, getting that sort of pre-season funk out of the way that they're playing in. And you know what I like the most is just allowing coaches time to see how their teams function. And this Rockets team's got a lot in it, and again this Hemel team, and I'm really excited about this division this year. It's a division that the Lynch Trophy's telling us who's ready, so that we'll be looking at it thinking, yep, there's teams here we can beat, but this is a different kind of division now, with the rosters are really strong. Put Polian back in this group, and with the Taylor Johnson with the carrying his team at times today. I think this league has just got a lot more exciting than we thought.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'll have a quick rundown of the stats leaders. Taylor Johnson leads all scorers with 32. Tolawase and Bassi split for Reading with 19 apiece.
Yeah.
Tolawase goes double-double with 12 rebounds. Teo Oyefusi goes double-double with 13 and 10. Tyler Cartagena ends up with 5 assists. Sam Newman has 4 for Hemel.
Yeah.
As we see, one of those great, like I timed it, Tyler Cartagena assists that didn't actually get there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But just leaves me to say, thanks everybody for joining us. 250 odd people on the stream is just brilliant. We take big pride in what we do here at Reading, so big thanks to the media team who run the socials and the channels, and to the camera team and production. And as I say, if you knew what goes on behind the scenes, there's a lot that goes into it. So thank you to everybody who makes it happen. If you do enjoy the stream, remember we're streaming, I'm going to say, all pretty much of the Reading home games. So come join us for what we believe is good output and good product for English basketball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leaves me to say thanks to you, mate, for joining us again.
And thank you. And also, just thank you for the question about Coach Andrew as well. And make sure you get online and show your support for that, for all the people that are around thinking about her and her family at this time as well. I think it's a fitting ending to what we try to do here on a great weekend of basketball.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we will catch you next time.